Hello children, I hope you have done your worksheets. Let's start our next topic of magnetic effects of electric current, that is experiment to demonstrate the force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. See children, uh, before this we had done or we had used a simple rule to find out the direction of magnetic field. That direction of magnetic field was, we were able to get the direction of the magnetic field with the help of our right hand thumb rule, or you can say Maxwell's corkscrew rule. Now again we have noticed one thing. When a current carrying conductor or when a current is passed through a conductor, then it behaves as a magnet. We all know that. I have already told in the previous classes, when a current, and you have also seen it in the through the different activities. If a current pass through a conductor, it starts behaving as a magnet. Now let us elaborate it little bit. In this case, what I am going to do, I am going to pass the electric current through a conductor, and that current, along with that, I am going to that conductor I am going to keep in the vicinity, or you can say between the poles of a horseshoe magnet, or you can say U-shaped magnet. We will notice that from the heading it is clear. We are going to do the experiment, or we are going to just see the experiment. Force acting on a current carrying conductor when it is placed in a magnetic field. We will notice what will happen when we will place a current carrying conductor. Earlier, when the current was passed through the conductor, it became magnet, or you can say it was a temporary magnet. It started acting as a magnet which was temporary for the time period for which the current was passed. Now what will happen if we will keep this current carrying conductor in the between the two poles of a U-shape, or you can say horseshoe type magnet? We will notice that the horseshoe type magnet, if a current carrying conductor is placed between the two poles of a U-shape or horseshoe type magnet, we will notice that a force is exerted on the conductor also. As the earlier, the conductor was exerting a force on the, you can say, when you had made a temporary magnet, or you can say electromagnet, what had happened? You just you took a conductor, or you can say conducting wire, you connected it with the battery, and you started passing by putting the switch on. You notice that it started behaving as a magnet. What did that magnet do? That magnet exerted a force on the pins, or the iron pins, or the iron fillings which were lying nearby to that conductor. Because of the force, or because of the magnetic force exerted by the conductor, as it had become an electromagnet, it started exerting as a force on the iron nails which were lying nearby. Now, if the same, we will do little elaboration in this experiment. If we elaborate this experiment by keeping this current carrying conductor between the two poles of a magnet, we will see that earlier the conductor was exerting a force. Now, according to Newton's third law of motion, there is equal and opposite reaction. So in this case, when we place the conductor in between the two poles of a U-shape or a horseshoe type magnet, we will notice that the conductor will also experience a force. This is what we are going to see through an activity. In this activity, children, I have taken this diagram from your Lakshmi Singh. In NCERT, it is little complicated. You can use the same diagram for your question answers, okay, for the answer which you are going to write in the copy. Now what I have done, I have taken a horseshoe or U-shaped magnet, and one is north pole and this is its south pole. Then what I have done, I have taken a wire AB, or you can say a conductor or a copper wire. You know, copper is a good conductor of electricity, so I have taken a copper wire which is suspended through this end T with the help of two flexible joints. Then this is the wire A, upper end is A, which is joined to the even flexible joints A, and the other end, which is downwards, or the lower end of the wire, is B. Then what I have done, that lower end of the wire B, wire AB, I have kept in a bowl. That bowl is containing mercury. This bowl, this is a mercury pool. The lower end of the wire AB, which is suspended from a flexible joint T, is in the mercury pool, or mercury which is kept in a bowl that is lying there. Now this is a free end. Why have I kept it free? I have kept it free to notice if this is a conductor. If a force is exerted on this conductor, it has to move. If it is tied up with something else or the connecting wires, it won't be able to move. So I have kept this end free just to see whether it moves or it does not move. Now, as we all know that mercury is a good conductor of electricity. When this is kept, lower end is kept in the mercury pool, that means it has also become a conductor. So it will also allow to pass the current through it. Now, with another connecting wire is again one more wire, connecting wire, that is again kept in the mercury pool. Now mercury is acting as a connecting link between these two wires. One is the flexible wire the wire AB, and other is a connecting wire. Now the connecting wire is connected to this key. Then there is a battery. Now in this way I have done this setup. I hope this setup is clear. What have I done, children? I have taken a horseshoe type magnet. Then between the two poles, you can say this is north pole and this is south pole. Between the two poles, my conductor is between these two poles, and this is parallel to the magnetic field. If magnetic field is moving like this from north to south and the conductor is like this, that means these two are perpendicular. This is perpendicular, not parallel, sorry. This is perpendicular. There is a flexible wire, conducting wire AB. One end is attached to the flexible joints and other end is left free. Then I have made the settlement in such a way that the lower end of the wire AB is in the mercury pool, because here mercury will act as a conducting link. Then I have taken another wire just to complete the circuit, and that one end of that wire is also in the mercury pool to make a connecting link. Then the other end of that wire is connecting to the key. Then key is connected to a battery. And there is a power. In this setup, you can see the current is flowing in this direction, is coming downward. Now, when I start passing the current, what will happen? See what will happen. When a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, like this setup, a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, a mechanical force is exerted on the conductor which makes it move. When this circuit is complete and the switch is on, now what will happen? This low end of now, earlier when there was switch was off, the setup was like this. Now when the switch is on, the wire has shifted from the position AB to AB dash. Earlier wire was like this. Now the wire has come like this. See, earlier the wire was like this. Now the wire has come like this. It is moved in the forward, or you can say in the south direction. How? This is the current coming downward. Magnetic field is perpendicular to this current, perpendicular, and the force has gone in the north or southward direction, or you can say in the forward direction. This is the observation we see, that when a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, a mechanical force is exerted on a conductor which makes the conductor to move. Now, this is what we have seen through this kicking wire experiment. The wire has got a kick and it has shifted from the place AB to AB dash. This is the new position of the wire, AB dash. When the wire has moved from AB to AB dash place, now wire is at this place. There is no conducting link. It is no more in the mercury pool. Now if it is no more, there is no connecting wire. Now in this case we will see the circuit has broken. If the circuit has broken, there is no more force. Current is passing. If no more current is passing, then what will happen? Again, that magnetic field will not exert a force on the conductor. If no force is now acting on the conductor, it will come back or it will fall back to its original position, that is AB now. It had gone from AB to AB dash. Now there is no conducting link, no current, then it will fall back to its original place, that is AB. A, B and B dash. When there was a current, it had gone to this place, and now when there is no current, it has fallen back to its original position. This is from this experiment we come to know that when a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force or a force acts on it. Now children, I want to elaborate a little bit more. In this case, I can do one more thing. If I reverse the direction of the poles, now if I bring my south pole here and my north pole here, on reversing the direction of the poles, we will notice that now the conductor has gone in the opposite direction. Earlier it had gone, I had told you it has moved forward. Now it will move backward, that is C. Now the wire has moved from place AB to AC. Now wire has taken a new position on reversing the direction of the magnetic field. If I change the poles, definitely the direction of magnetic field is changed. If on reversing the direction of the magnetic field, you will notice that now the conductor has moved in the opposite direction. See, the direction of force acting on the current carrying wire is placed in a magnetic field, goes to the opposite direction on reversing the direction of the magnetic field. One more thing you can do in this case, you can reverse the direction of the current also. If you reverse the direction of the current, then also you will notice that now the conductor has experienced a force in an opposite direction. This experiment elaborates. Now children, there are few you can say rule which are must to be followed, otherwise this will not happen. What are those rules? Those rules is, force is maximum on a current carrying conductor only when, this is the thing, only when it is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. Then this, you can see in this case, the magnetic field is like this and the conductor is like this. These two are perpendicular to each other. Force is maximum on a current carrying conductor only when it is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. Magnetic field is moving this way. If it is no force, second, no force acts on a conductor, current carrying conductor, if it is parallel to magnetic field. If the conductor is lying horizontally, if our magnetic field and the conductor, both the things are parallel to each other, in that case no force will be exerted on the current carrying conductor. These are the 2 points which we need to keep in mind if we want this to happen. Next, the direction of force acting on a current carrying. From this observation we have come to know that direction of force acting on a current carrying current wire placed in a magnetic field is perpendicular to the direction of current. Direction of current is downward. See, this way. And second thing, perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. From this experiment or from this observation, we have come to know that the direction of force on a current carrying conductor which is placed in a magnetic field is perpendicular to the direction of current, 1 point. it is perpendicular to the direction of current. Second point, it is also perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. If it is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field and also perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field and current carrying conductor, then what? Then you will notice if these two are parallel to each other and this is again parallel, and if these things are parallel to each other, it means that force, your current carrying direction of current, and your direction of magnetic field, these three have to be mutually perpendicular to each other. If they are not, this can be you can say found out or with the help of our Fleming's left hand rule. Maxwell's right hand rule or right hand thumb rule had given us the way to find out the direction of the magnetic field. Now in this case, through this experiment, we have come to know that a force is exerted on a current carrying conductor. But which way the conductor will move or which direction the conductor will move, that can be found out with the help of our Fleming's left hand rule. Children, this experiment is basically to demonstrate that, first thing, it is to demonstrate that a force is exerted on a current carrying conductor when it is placed in a magnetic field. Second, if we need to find out the direction of magnetic field, then we have to keep the three fingers of our left hand mutually perpendicular to each other. If these three are mutually perpendicular to each other, we can very well find out the direction of the force. See, let's see what. Hold your left hand in such a way that your forefinger, this is your forefinger of your left hand, this is my right hand, this is my left hand, that your forefinger represents the direction of magnetic field, your center finger represents the direction of current, and your thumb gives you the direction of force. So in this experiment, if I apply this rule, you will come to know why I had told that when the current was passed through this wire, why this wire had moved in the south or you can say forward direction, and on reversing the direction of the magnetic field, why it had gone to backward or you can say in the north direction. Let's apply this rule to this experiment. Children, you can see in this experiment, the magnetic field is from north to south like this, north to south. Direction, my forefinger is giving you the direction of magnetic field. This current is coming downward, center finger gives you the direction, and now you see the direction of my thumb. These three are mutually perpendicular to each other. Now you can very well see that this is which side it is coming. If you write down the directions like this, east, west, north and south, you can see it is this, it was coming downward and it is coming this way. If it is a 3D structure, you will on the map you will see this direction is the south direction, that side it is north, this side it is east and this side it is west. You will come to know I have kept my middle finger or you can say forefinger in such a way that this is giving you the direction of magnetic field, my center finger giving you the direction of the current, and this thumb gives me the direction of conductor. That is why I had told you that it will move forward or in the southward direction. Let me reverse now the direction of this magnetic field, or you can say if I reverse the direction of this current. Earlier the current was downward. Now I want to change the direction of the current. Suppose now the current is going upward. Let me change this thing. Now it is coming downward. If the current is moving like this, then you see now direction of magnetic field is given by the forefinger. This center finger gives us the direction. Earlier it was coming downward, now it was going upward. The current is going upward. Now, where is my thumb? Where is my thumb, children? Thumb is pointing that side, that is backward, that is towards the north. This is how we adjust. This is our Fleming's left hand rule. You have to write the statement like, so hold your left hand in such a way that your forefinger represents the magnetic field, your center finger represents the current direction of current, and your thumb gives the direction of the force. And we have to keep these three mutually perpendicular to each other. You can very well see in this case that these three are mutually perpendicular to each other. You see now. This is how we use Fleming's left hand rule to find out the direction of force on that conductor which is placed in a magnetic field, current carrying conductor which is placed in a magnetic field. Thank you children for today's class.